Welcome back to Good to Know. I'm your host, Lindsay Boach, and we only talk about the good things here, like celebrity drop-ins on Zoom.
If you remember Hollywood Squares or the Brady Bunch,
we're all in this together.
Being a Zoomer is old hat. Well, put on your cowboy hat for this.
There is no wine here.
We were sitting there ready to get to play, and all of a sudden a little block comes on the corner of the screen, says Brad Paisley.
Yeah.
We're like, what?
What? Yeah.
Drinking ought to be a team effort.
Country music superstar Brad Paisley crashes the Chesapeake Beach block party. Thanks to Sarah, the party queen, finally she got a little mud on his tires.
I didn't really tell anyone, so I sent him the invite, and 15 minutes later he popped on.
So we're sitting there just kind of logging in, and everybody's getting their drink, and he's like, hey, what are you guys drinking? And we were like, wait, you're responding to us? Hold on.
There's always there.
After all, he did sing the song online.
So down to earth, just a really humble guy, really cool.
And he was so great and down to earth, and he talked to us for a good 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's the most important impression. Biggest impression he left on us was that just down to earth, really talking, asking how we're doing.
There was no encore, so the man who sang "When I Get Where I'm Going" had to go.
He was in his garage.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, I got to go soon. My wife said dinner's ready.
Yeah.
And as you go to sleep tonight with Whiskey Lullaby, know Sarah is working on another Saturday surprise.
So really open for some other people.
Yep.
If they want to hop on, they
Maybe.
just need to send me a message.
John Krasinski, if you're out there listening.
We're all in this together.
What a surprise, but he's not the only one. We found another singer in Florida who did something cool for a special needs teacher who was just trying to get a quote for some much needed home improvement projects.
Finishing touches to a renovation project at Lana Watson's Port St. Lucie home.
The siding on the house was rotting off and buckling and everything.
Sitting on the patio wasn't enjoyable.
Whatever the texture stuff that they put up there kept crumbling down, so I'd have to sweep it up.
She asked friends for help.
Rob gave me a call and he goes, okay, I've got your estimate for you. And I said, okay. And he said nothing.
She didn't realize until Rob arrived that it was Rob Van Winkle, known as rapper Vanilla Ice. He's been renovating homes for years.
This stuff just looks like snow coming down. You could have seen it all over the floor. It's just flaking, you know. And that's stucco with paint mixture.
The celebrity and a master carpenter did the repairs.
You can't live in a house that's falling apart, and her house was falling apart. Well, we kind of got a hold on it now.
Lana, who is a lung cancer survivor, says this week is her birthday.
Ridiculously grateful. This whole thing has just been such a gift. He's so genuine and generous.
She sprinkles a lot of magic over the community and these children and their lives and their parents of these children, and really makes a difference in their lives. And I figured since she does all that magic that we would sprinkle a little bit of fairy dust and magic around the house here for her. I'm honored to be here and do this for her.
Stack, bag, slide, roll, repeat.
You know, it's a lot of work, but it's fun and it's enriching and it's rewarding.
To me, that's the beauty of food, is bringing people together.
The work you see happening right here in Taste of Belgium's commissary in Walnut Hills really is bringing people together. It's part of a mighty mission with a nonprofit leading the charge. Le Soup takes donated fresh food that might otherwise go to waste and transforms it into meals. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, it made 6,500 servings a week for kids in need. That's up to 25,000 now, and for whole families.
Susie, in your wildest dreams, did you ever think you'd be producing 25,000 servings a week?
I keep scratching my head. The heck? You've been to round bottom, right? Like, that's where it started.
Her staff was cranking it out at this humble building. But as thousands lost jobs because of the pandemic, the need to feed grew exponentially, as did the need to keep folks in the restaurant business working.
Really, the mission at this point is to utilize the untapped resource of these chefs that are now unemployed get them off unemployment, come back to work under this model, cooking for those that are simply hungry.
She's using nonprofit dollar donations to actually hire that manpower. In exchange, places like Taste of Belgium
I love what Susie has been doing with La Soup.
are providing the food prep space that makes scaled up production possible.
We can produce a lot of food, and people can do it safely because we can social distance.
It's like watching the food version of Santa's workshop.
Vegetarian ratatouille bake.
They know these meals are gifts for the people who get them, so they continue their cooking. And with pep in their step, they're bagging, they're stacking, they're packing, and their deliveries.
Cheviot, Douglas Academy in Walnut Hills, Euler downtown.
To schools in places that reach their hungry families.
I think this is an answer economically and spiritually.
It fills my heart. And when I say that is because there's so many people that are underprivileged out there that don't have what other people do have. And the fact that we can contribute to that, it's huge.
You don't have to give an arm and a leg to give back to your community. But one business owner is giving up her leggings. 100 pairs for nurses at a Central Texas hospital.
To receive a donation like this is so important, and just to feel the love from the community and the appreciation from the community, the way they've reached out and donated different things, including the leggings, has really been a nice comfort to all the nurses in the hospital.
Showing you care and giving a little comfort. Now that's good to know.
Isabella and Fred Emerald have been staying at Ronald McDonald House in St. Pete since February. They traveled all the way from Brazil so Fred could receive therapy. The 11-year-old is living with cerebral palsy.
We plan to stay 6 months and get Fred walking freely with no walking sticks. He was getting into the track, and then suddenly we found out that everything should be stopped.
This mother and son are among 72 people staying within the 3 St. Pete houses. That's 700 meals a week. But due to COVID-19, the meal program, run primarily by volunteers, is on hold.
Because the meal groups come in, there's usually no cost to us, right? The meal groups donate all of that, and so it's complimentary to us and our families.
Ronald McDonald House had to find another way to feed their families, so they decided to turn to their neighborhood restaurants and food trucks. That's putting an extra $5,000 a week into the economy.
Kids just go nuts over food trucks. It cheers everybody up. It cheers me up to be able to help. It cheers up my staff.
Parked in the shadow of Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital and just a block away from Ronald McDonald House, She's So Crispy is one of several food trucks that these families are enjoying.
Very good. It's delicious and have this variety. It's nice, very nice.
Ronald McDonald House says this wouldn't be possible without the community. 85% of their funding comes from donations. Their families appreciate it.
When you're going through a crisis already, and then you have to put this on top of it, they've just been as cheery as they can possibly be under the circumstances.
A Colorado man's creative idea started with one simple question: who makes cool stuff? Well, his neighbors didn't disappoint.
Color now.
Creativity can come from a lot of places, including challenging times. So why not celebrate that?
I put a post on Nextdoor that said, "Who makes cool stuff?" We had like 300 replies. So from that, I said, let's do a contest.
A few days and 50 entries later, and the street outside Eric Bowerly's Denver home became this.
This is the COVID creations.
A street art show of sorts, from behind masks and standing a safe distance away.
We have everything from painters to woodworkers. We have someone who makes fairy houses out of stuff she finds in her sidewalk.
There were only 2 rules.
It just has to be uplifting and encouraging in nature, and it has to be made during the lockdown.
Works came from full-time artists to amateurs to this beginner. The top pieces were awarded gift cards to local restaurants.
I've been extremely impressed. I didn't know we had this kind of creativity and talent in our neighborhood, to be honest.
It's just pretty amazing what people can do with their time when they have it.
Elizabeth Rotter brought her painting called Synergy.
It just shows how we're still connected even though it seems like we're all out of sorts.
She's been out of work since early March due to COVID.
I've had time on my hands, and so that's how I've been using my energy.
It was a day to appreciate that and the unique and positive things that can come from the challenging situation we're all facing.
It's uplifting to see the people coming together like this and just uniting as a community.
Greetings from Kansas City, the original Hallmark town. Artists for their greeting card company are turning their driveways and sidewalks into whimsical walkways to express their gratitude and spread some positivity.
So mine says, "Courage is love in action," which is an original Hallmark piece of writing. It's been great. It's a beautiful day. We just hope when people walk by that this inspires them to reach out to somebody who's maybe going the extra mile for them, or for them to go out of their way for someone else.
Okay, this will positively put a smile on your face.
As a surf dog and certified therapy dog, Ricochet has helped countless San Diegans cope with the struggles in their lives. But even she's been impacted by coronavirus.
During this time, there's such a need for therapy dogs to be helping people, and we can't go out. We can't do it.
Because of social distancing, the two main ways Ricochet helps, physical touch and close eye contact, aren't allowed. So handler Judy Fredono has taken Ricochet out of the water to surf the internet.
I had no idea if this would work or not, but it is working, and it's really, really important.
Fredono and Ricochet offer therapy sessions through her website and video chats on Zoom or FaceTime. Kids can read to her, nurses and doctors vent to her, and families grieve with her.
I'll be honest, it's been trying.
That's what ICU nurse Diana Muchagamba needed after more than a month on the front lines of the fight.
We don't have enough people, we don't have enough hospital beds, we don't have enough supplies, and it doesn't seem like anything we do stops what's going to happen.
Diana showed us this video of her chat with Ricochet and says it helped take away some of the frustration and sadness.
Animals don't judge you. Dogs don't judge you. They listen. And that's probably the most important part, is that you have a listening ear.
Now, Fredono hopes Ricochet can comfort even more people as the pandemic continues.
Even if just looking at her can make someone feel more relaxed, then we're doing something to make a difference. There's just such a need right now.
Oh my God. You know what's sad is I don't have a mirror to really appreciate this.
Daniel Sims is a nurse at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital. Dylan is a 14-year-old patient getting chemotherapy treatments for leukemia. With mom watching, they bonded over a very cool haircut.
My hair was falling out, and I didn't want to shave it. And Daniel was like, "When are you going to shave your hair, man?"
I said, "Listen, you gotta shave this." And he was giving me a hard time. But I said, "If you shave it, you can shave my head." And I threw it out there as kind of like a, let's see if he goes for it. And his eyes lit up, but he didn't really, he just was like, "Really?"
That first cut, that first right down the middle, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be rough. But now I just saw Daniel and it looks really good.
The original deal was that Daniel and Dylan would shave each other's heads. But Dylan, well, he couldn't wait, and he figured his friend would understand.
There's not a lot of other boy nurses, just him really. He's nice and do fun stuff, so.
Now there's just one bit of business left.
He did ask for payment while we were in the hospital, and I told him I could pay in Sour Patch Kids, so I have those here.
Wow, what a very special bond, and we definitely wish Dylan a very speedy recovery. You know, it's not always easy to laugh when times get tough, but there are people out there who are trying to make the world a better place, and isn't that good to know?